Hello viewers, and welcome to the first, would it be the first video of this car? First diagnostic of something, or at least the attempt. Also, if I sound like I'm sick, I am. I'm getting over a cold. Yeah, it's taken a while. Anyways, this car, after I got it, has had an intermittent ABS light. And it's been happening mostly when it's wet out, like a day like today. You go to back up and maybe start turning, and it'll illuminate a ABS light, and whole freaking thing lights up like a Christmas tree. I haven't taken it to the dealer because, well, I'm gonna see if I can figure this out on myself before having to take it in. Kind of observing what happens when this car throws an ABS light. The only thing that I notice is the steering wheel gets a little stiff. The parking aid stops working because parking aid feeds off the steering, and then the radio also relies on the whole ABS thing because it's all speed sensing stuff, because the radio will turn the volume up the faster you go. And the other thing on these cars, I don't know if it's this particular year, but I know previous ones, they've had problems with the ABS module going bad hydraulically, and it causes, when it does have a fault, well, hydraulically it'll throw a code, but you'll also lose brakes. You won't have any brakes. They'll go right to the floor when this ABS light comes on. But I haven't been having that problem. The only thing that I have is just, the steering gets a little firmer, like you're sitting at a stop. And of course, the parking aid doesn't work. But everything else is fine. It regens fine. It drives fine. Everything else is great. And usually the light goes away after you start driving. Probably like maybe a block. Well, anyways, I've noticed that it's been doing it when it's wet out. And doing a little research and stuff, I was finding that the ABS harness, the vehicle side, sometimes these have an issue with the wires corroding. So I went and looked at this car to see what the ABS wires look like and where they're at, and they're fairly intact looking, but I haven't really got in there to mess around with it. But what I did is I had the steering wheel turned all the way to the left, the car on in park, and I went and wiggled the passenger side connector for the ABS sensor, and it illuminated the ABS light. Now, don't know if it just happened to come on while I was over there, or if that's actually what triggered it. But what I would like to do is maybe take this for a spin and see if it'll do it. It hasn't done it all day today. The other day it was just out. Every time I started the car and started driving, it would come on. Backing up, it would come on. But after I wiggle that little harness, it's been fine. So kind of crappy. This is a car I just bought. It does have almost 70,000 miles on it. I've put about 2 to 3 on it already. I probably just barely spent $100 in gas. I haven't even made the first payment yet, and I've got ABS light. But that's kind of expected. It is a highly technical car here, and also there's some kind of bad designs with the ABS, where the ABS wires are located. I'll show you here in a little bit. Yeah, I'll take this over having to put a new engine in it like those Chevy Cruzes, so a lot of those kind of shit the bed at about 30,000 miles, it seems. And then this car just has some random things. I've had this window not want to go up all the way. This is a common thing with these newer ones, because it has a one touch up, and it will detect, like if you have your fingers in the window, it'll detect it and it'll come up, and I'm like, nope. Well, one day, I was taking a nap in here and I had the window cracked down like this much. Turned the car back on, and it rolled up, got up there, nope. And I was like, what the hell? So I got it to where it just barely closed, and I just stopped it there. Shut the car off, let it sit, come back. Yeah, that's fine. Let's start the car here. See if we get a ABS light here. Like I said, it hasn't been doing it. So that's fine. Hasn't been doing it all day today. I've seen this come up and reboot a couple times. There goes the engine, start it up. Another thing I with this car, I was just messing around with it and I thought, hey, let's see what happens when we put premium in this thing. So that's kind of what I've been getting. This is higher than, yeah, that's a little too high. I've been getting about 39, between 38.5 and like 39, real close to 40. Now I put premium in this thing, and I got horrible fuel economy. I got like 34 miles to the gallon. So yeah, that's a thing. I put regular in it this last term, or fill up, and it's, you know, I normally sit in that 40 mark, maybe a little bit higher when I'm cruising to and from work. But yeah, so this thing has been saving me a lot of fuel, regardless of the, you know, making the mistake of running freaking premium in there. Yeah, 38.9 is what that's been scoring, and that's about what my fuel tank average is after I go to fill up. This thing is gonna get way too hot in here. Let's see. I don't really need this right now. This HVAC thing is a little interesting. What I hate about it is that, you know, you turn it down, and it's on 72 and you're boiling in here. And you turn it down, you get on 68 and you're still boiling. And then after a while you get it down to 62 and it's like it's just barely cooling off. You're like, and then after that, then you're like, okay, it's too warm, and you crank it back up to 70 and then it's not as warm. You crank it back to like 72 or 74 and then it starts getting hot. So I don't know if it actually is trying to sense the cabin air temperature and automatically adjusts to that. I don't know what's going on, but you know, it doesn't get stuck on any temperature. It just, it's not an instant adjustment like older vehicles, so something to get used to. I could look at my manual and see if it says anything about that, but I don't really care. It's been working fine. So anyways, yeah, I've been running my tire pressure about 40. And I know everybody's like, I want to hear about this ABS thing. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna just kind of go over this car here. I haven't really done any videos of this car. I haven't had time. Been busy Christmas shopping and working and sleeping and stuff. Switched over to night shift to make a little extra money, so. Okay, I was going to, what was I gonna do? Oh, let's see, I haven't talked about this yet. So this has automatic, pretty much everything. Automatic high beams, automatic wipers, and yeah, the wipers stuff. Pretty much everything works with this little camera that's in there. The auto high beam, I have it off because there are times where you get up around a corner and it's like it's on, but then it shuts off, and then it comes on, and then you get over the corner and someone else comes around the corner, and then they just get the slightest whiff of the high beam, and then it kicks off, and then they flash you with their high beams. It's like, really? So I have that off. But you know, everything else is on. But you can mess with everything in this car. You know, stuff like locks and wiper stuff, courtesy wipe. I think I have that off. Yeah. I don't even know why it's off. I don't even know what it does. Tire mobility kit. Yeah, I don't care. This my key thing I haven't dealt with. Yeah, everything else has been pretty fantastic in this car. Fuel economy and everything has been amazing, but this ABS thing is a little concerning. So I'm gonna do that. Reverse. Got junk. Now I've had it where sometimes when I'm backing up, the cross traffic thing will alert, and sometimes there won't be anything there, and then it'll go dung 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 dung, dung, and then I get all the Christmas tree lights. So far it hasn't done it. I thought maybe a sensor was getting wet and causing this. But I'm thinking it could just be that harness. I mean, ever since I wiggled it, it stopped doing the thing, and I couldn't get it to come back. And of course, you know, now that we're video recording, it's not doing it. Oh, I know another funny thing. That mirror right there, I couldn't get it to stay in the position that it's in right now, where I can just see a little bit of the car. And I was like, what is going on with this mirror? And I finally gotten around to looking at it, and it was held on by one clip on the base. And I don't know how or why it came off, but it did. Luckily I was able to get it to go back on, and it clicked on and it stayed on. Just find a home, will ya? Well, you take it off eco mode. This thing's got some power. For, you know, a 2-liter hybrid fuel saver, this thing gets up and goes. And then peels out. I'm sure if you took traction control and everything off, it just lay waste to those tires. It's got pretty good tires on it. This thing handles pretty good even in the rain. You know, except going around some corners at 55 miles an hour that are a little wet. It's a little scary, but the whole car just slides, not like the back end kicks out. That mirror over there hasn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really auto dim. I saw it do it once when the day I got the car. It did it, but now it's, you know, not doing it. I hope that didn't go bad. You can replace the lenses. They seem like they come off kind of easy, because you can move them all the way out or whatever, and you know, clip them off and swap them out. I think it was like $100 just for the lens. The whole mirror is like $600. I was like, oh. So I'm in EV Plus mode, which means that this is gonna stay in EV mode. A lot more than it would when you're just cruising. You know, I was thinking it would have been fun to get a twin turbo V6 EcoBoost Fusion, but you know, this being a daily driver, I was going for the ultimate in fuel economy. So let's try something here. So, one reverse. Back up a little bit. And you know, the time I want it to do the thing, it doesn't do it. You know, this thing cost me about $27 to fill up, even after going like 450 some miles. Alright, let's go pull it into the garage, and I want to look at the passenger side ABS sensor harness, and then we'll see what we got going on. What size is it, tubes? 3/4? Nope. 13/16. Too loose. 18mm chrome socket. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna. Oh, this one. What size is it? It's not even on there all the way. Of course, the size socket that I have, that's too loose. Okay, what's going on here? Pretty sure it's a size 20. Three-quarter just barely fits. Yeah, it's got these stupid ones. And I bet Ford's got a special socket just for this. I don't need to take that one off. Okay, let's get this tire out here. What do we got going on here? Let's take a look. That's pretty cool. Here's our strut. Brake line, the CV shaft, sway bar. Crank sensor is really easy to get to. Look, there's no belts on this thing. Now this is built 1st of June of 2016. There's our ABS wire, and it goes in right there. Oh, we got tons of brake pad. You know, when you look at it from the wheel, from outside the wheel, you're like, oh, I'm gonna need brakes here. But no, I was wrong. This has got years and years of brakes. What I'm surprised is they don't have like a panel going over that wiring harness. That's the whole loom right there for the ABS. So I'm gonna put you guys back on the tripod so I can fiddle fart with this. Apologize in advance if the lighting is not very good. To be fair, I can barely see. So I'm gonna pop this out of its bracket here. And then, how does this? This whole bracket now it's held in with a little fastener there. This connector should be sealed. Looks like that was sealed. Got a little bit of dirt in there. I'll clean it out with a Q-tip. I'm just getting blinded by this light that doesn't want to go anywhere. It's hanging up from a strap there. I would like to get this off of this plastic here. There's a little tang holding it in. I really don't want to untape all this. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's kind of a horrible spot for that connector. It really is. So this whole thing has to turn. This moves that cable a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the car on and I'm going to wiggle that connector. Let's see. Okay, nothing came on, so maybe it's fine. Let me turn the car off. I plan on getting a new scan tool so we can actually look at stuff like that. Maybe we can see, you know, what's freaking out. Yeah, this car is pretty cool though. I like it. I like it a lot. One thing is, it is getting low. Well, it's been low. Doesn't leak anywhere. I don't see it leak. And this one is at the minimum. What I don't know on this car, does the engine coolant, is it shared with this coolant here? High voltage connectors. Now they did pressure wash this car. I was just wondering if maybe they got one of the, you know, connectors for that wet, but those connectors for the ABS module are pretty well buried. I was gonna pick up some coolant for this, and it uses the same coolant for both the hybrid portion, or for the drive motor, and then well, the drive motor inverter. And then it uses, well, the engine and the drive motor inverter use the same coolant. You have to excuse me, I'm clearing my throat constantly. So those are the two hoses there. I see another T. Just want to see where all these hoses go. Transmission cooler lines, those are pretty beefy. Yeah, those go to a cooler up front of the car. It's separate from the engine coolant. So yeah, I already looked in the manual to see what the coolant was. God, my freaking throat. Yeah. Oh, this uses OW20. The manual was saying like a 5. How's our oil looking? Oh, still honey color. I'm still full of washer fluid. Now, I don't believe this has a mechanical water pump. I think it has an electrical water pump. I see that. I can't get you and the light in there at the same time. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's just a mounting bracket for the lines. Huh. And then there's your AC compressor right there. It looks like it's powered by the high voltage system. That's cool. Yeah, this is pretty neat. I watched a review where this guy was like, oh, these are the things I hate about my Fusion. This hood is just so flimsy. It's... What are you talking about? I think the guy was just nitpicking. Like, I don't know, I couldn't really watch the whole review. It was just awful. I was like, this has active grill shutters. Right now they're kind of wide open, but when it's colder out they're usually shut. I like that a lot. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on with the ABS thing. It's been pretty good today, but we've had less rain than the other day, so I'll just have to wait and see. But it does seem to be a wet weather related kind of thing. I do plan on getting a scanner, like I mentioned, sometime next year, probably after taxes, because I want to be able to work on this car when it needs work or service. So I need that scanner so I can see what's going on with this. Also, you know, you guys know I get other vehicles and stuff to work on here and there, and having that scan tool will be great, especially when someone's having some problems that requires a special tool. This car is something else though. What I really like about it is how quick it is to warm up. I mean, I start it in the morning for maybe, well actually I'm on nights now, but get in the car, fire it up, and it's running for like just a few seconds, back it out. I get out to the street there and it's halfway warmed up. You gotta love that. Those aren't the bolts holding the strut in, are those? Those are wee bitty. So anyways, the oil change is coming up in March for this. What I'm gonna do, because I have I'll have 70,000 miles on it by then. I want to change the transmission fluid, which I've looked up how to do. It's pretty easy. It's literally pull a drain plug and then fill plug, dump in like 4 quarts of oil, and then you're good to go. I'm gonna get a jug of coolant to top off this cooling system here, as well as the engine coolant. At 100,000 miles, we'll change that out. I don't know how you change this. I don't know if there's a drain or something for it, but that I'll have to figure that out. But the engine coolant's the big one. I don't know what this guy is here. Continental. Don't know what it is. Look at that giganto AC line. I noticed a little cable looking thing. What the hell is that? They got like 2 AC lines coming off of that. A tiny one and a big one. What is that? What does that do? The cable runs up. Oh! That's the actuator for the transmission. That's weird. I figured they'd have a servo on that or something instead of just this long ass cable. Yeah. I like that it has individual motors for the wipers instead of this crappy linkage system that you know, breaks down over time and the wipers are all sloppy. The Lincoln was terrible with that. Yeah. I gotta go blow my nose. Anyways, so yeah, coming up next March 2020, we're gonna do oil change, transmission fluid change, put a new air filter in it, top off the coolant, maybe do a tire rotation and put some better quality lug nuts on it. And then the 6th one, we're gonna do cabin air filter, and you know, that'll be our maintenance for a long time. But I really want to get a new scan tool. I'm looking at an Odd to L scan tool for this. It's about $400, but I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it. So, you know, I need it for my hobby stuff, maintenance for my own car, and repair work to other vehicles. So yeah, anyways, this is a video on the car. This will be the last video of the year. I'm not gonna make a end of the, you know, a year in review kind of video, because yeah, I don't really have interest or time to do it. Still making videos, obviously. You guys are watching this. I keep hitting this thing, it's pissing me off. Just right now with the holiday season, I'm slowing down, and plus, you know, I don't have really a car to work on, except whatever maintenance I do to this. I do have a few things planned for the truck. Adam doesn't really have anything going on for his car yet. Yeah, the truck, I've got a extra battery I want to install, that one right there, and do some stuff in the back, but it'll be a little bit later. And then of course I want to pull the 4BT out and do some work to that. But yeah, that'll be all next year. Still figuring out what I'm going to be doing. I'm redoing my budget. I'm having some things change around. Got, you know, making a payment on this, but have some other things going on. And starting a new job. I just started a new job in the last couple weeks at the company that I'm at, and making quite a bit more money than I was. So that might offset the payment on this, and so I think we'll probably be okay. But for the 4BT, I've in this box here that's buried, got a whole gasket kit. Under that air conditioner that I completely destroyed, there's a brand new head for that. Anyways, tubes, thank you all for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And we'll catch you in 2020. Maybe we'll see what president we get in 2020. Yeah. Anyways, Johnson out.